Okay, this is for my last class for my master's. It's teacher leader in a professional learning community, and I had to come up with a plan to implement into my classroom or our classrooms. And since we're not in school, I just came up with the plan and plan to put it into place once we get back in August. So this is the agenda, which I printed out for you all. We're going to go over the vision statement and then the project and what I plan to do. Okay, my vision statement that we had to come up with is: I, as a teacher leader, will keep an open mind to new ideas, and I will not be afraid to share my ideas with others. I will be supportive of my students and colleagues. I will ask for help when I need it, and by doing this, I will help empower other teachers around me. And then these 4 essential questions are questions that we have talked about using in PLCs that kind of inform our decision making. And looking over them, they go right along with Mr. Poole's 12 questions that he gave us this year to focus on. Why do we want our students to learn? How will we know when the students have learned what we want them to learn? How will we respond when students do not learn? And how will we enrich those students who have already learned what we need them to learn? And the problem statement is that we have chosen vocabulary in our school to focus on and be intentional with. And so I was wondering how to do that, and so that all 4 classes in 4th grade will receive a similar learning experience. I found this article, 6 Steps to Better Vocabulary Instruction by Marzano, and just a few of the main points was that when students copy the teacher's explanation or description, instead of generating their own explanation, the results aren't as strong, so they don't get it as much, it doesn't sink in. And the 3rd step is crucial, which is having them represent their term by drawing a picture or a symbol, and that when they do this well, that the achievement soars, which I know that we did that with when we all taught science. We always had them come up with a picture to go with it. And then, I know we've looked at this before. The 1st step is give students an explanation, description, or example of the new word. Students restate the description, explanation, or definition in their own words. Students create a picture, symbol, or graphic representing the word. And the 4th step is give students activities to help them add to their understanding. 5th is ask students to discuss the terms with one another. And then 6, give students games so that they can play with the terms. So what I came up with to use and implement these 6 steps was kind of just taking it as a week. On Monday, present the students with the new vocabulary terms and just discuss with them what they already know about the words, whether it's correct or not. You can use those misconceptions to kind of formulate a description. And it was really adamant about not giving them the exact definition, but more a description of like how the word's used it in a sentence, how they might have come across the word. And then students will take that description and put it into their own words in their vocabulary notebooks. Then on Tuesday, they would review their terms and they would come up with a picture or symbol to represent that word. And one of the steps was that they would work with others to go through the words. And so on Tuesday, I would have them share their picture with a partner, and they would kind of justify why they picked that picture or symbol. And then if they needed to change it or like their friend's idea better, they could do that. Then Wednesday, they would work with a partner to do an activity, and I put in here like an open word sort, because we've talked about in the PDs last week about how important word sorts are, and them coming up with their own categories as long as they could justify why. And with that partner, they would be able to bounce ideas back and forth. And then Thursday, they would play games, and I put in, Pictionary spelled wrong. put in examples of like Pictionary, charades with the words, or the word harvest, which is a game that was in this vocabulary book from Marzano. They would have buckets or categories, and they would take the word and they would put it in there, and then as a class, you would go over the word, and the student that put it in there would justify why it went to that category. So more of another word sort. And then, of course, Friday would be the assessment over the words. And I would plan to check it with the students, and then they could track the data in their leadership notebooks. And then we would compare the data each week to see how well they're doing and how well this strategy works. My hypothesis and goal for this would be that students will improve on their vocabulary assessments and that they will be able to retain the learning. And I think this would also help us cross the rigor divide with our vocabulary instruction. My next steps would be to, the first full week, start doing this when we get back, having them put them in their notebooks, and just using those words even in like word work for those that don't necessarily need the spelling help. They can use their vocabulary words. And then I put that as a team we can meet back after each week to discuss if there's any modifications we need to make to the strategy. And that's it.
I like it. Very good. Great.
Thank you for coming in.